Hello, everyone. I'm Miho, first track for Azure Senior Customer Engineer and Microsoft. And Gary.
Hello everyone. Sorry, I'm a fast track data engineer and based in South Korea. Uh, nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. So we're gonna present the Azure database for Postgres single server to flexible server migration. And also we have the other moderator on the Osamu on the chat window. So if you have any question, feel free to comment on the YouTube chat window. And also, we have the Microsoft Run content. So that is not actually directly related to the single to flexible migration, but some content is useful for the learning about the basic topic about the Azure database for Postgres and that kind of the migration oriented topic. So today's learning objective is reviewing the difference between the single server and the flexible server. And also we will explain about the migration process and how the migration tips. So I'm gonna go explain about the Azure database for MySQL Postgres single server Milestone. So Postgres 11 it's support in the single server and flexible server, but you can see the time chart on the this window. So this November Postgres 11 where we have the end of support. So it has the community level end of support, but Microsoft will extend the 1 year for the Postgres 11 running on the single server and flexible server. That's past technology. So that will be the we will support the by the November 9 in 2024. And also the Postgres single server will be the retire on the March 28, 2025. So you can see the what will be the happen on the single server retirement. So you can see the LAN content on the Microsoft LAN topic. So the beginning on the March 31 of this year, you cannot create the new single server instance of the Postgres version 10 and older, so 19.6 or 95. So you cannot create all the Postgres single server on Azure portal anymore. But you can still create a new instance with Azure CLI. And also this November, from this November, you cannot create the new single server version 11 on the Azure portal. And after that, what will be the happen on the single server? So, yep. You can see the LAN topic, but I just explained the summary of the most frequently asked questions. So the single server is currently on the retirement path, and it will be scheduled on the March 28, 2025. And also, you should care about the topic. So the why database for Postgres single server is being ended. So retired. So because we already prepared the flexible server for its the new technology, and single server after single server migration, you can use the flexible server. And we also have the so many enhanced to the from single server to flexible server. So we will explain that kind of the what feature will be the difference between the single server and the flexible server. And also we can explain about what is the benefit to using the flexible server. And also the most customer is caring about the after migration after the end of support date. So how what will be the happen on your resource? Or if you still continue to use the single server after this November, what will be happen? So we just the add the this kind of the FAQ related answer on the Microsoft Run contents. So you can see that topic on the this Microsoft Run topic, and also we need to explain about the major version retirement policy. So it is the most important for the everyone to consider from the what kind of the what version to the destination, or you should find the which version should be used by when. So current single server is supported the only Postgres 10 and 11, and the Postgres 9.5 and 9.6 has already retired on the 2018 and no 2021. If you are using the Postgres 9.5 or 9.6, so you should consider about its upgrade to the Postgres 10 or 11 before migration or after migration. And also, if you are using the Postgres 11, so it will be the extended support both for the single server and the flexible server for the next year's November 9. But you should consider to upgrade Postgres flexible server is supporting the from Postgres 11 to the Postgres 15. So that will be the simple topic to the supportability and it's comparing the version policy. So it is depends on the versionality. So the everyone should consider to the same version migration, or it needs before upgrade or after upgrade that. So it is a major versioning retirement policy, and you can see the detail on the this link. And also, I should explain about the functionality differences between the single and the flexible server. So this comparison table is just the individual, just to cover the individual topic. So you can see the whole detail on the Microsoft Run documentation. So the most important topic from single server and flexible server is based on its foundation OS. So single server was developed on the Windows-based container technology. So that has the built based on the service fabric cluster. And the flexible server is developed based on the Linux-based container technology. So that means several differences lying under the single server and the flexible server. For example, the connection string on the single server is username at server name, but the flexible server is a username only. So that will be the one of the most huge impact for the application modification. And also, a customer should care about the locale and collation related things. So single server is supported to the only the single locale and collation. And the flexible server, it's support and the only one single lookout and collection, but it is based on the UTF-8. So the characters are like a multi-byte character, like Japanese and Korean. So that could be the effect. It's a correlation result and the location result. So that could be the some issue for the correlation based gobbling. So and also the single server and the flexible server has the difference between the its usability is the maintenance window. So the single server is a system scheduled maintenance maintenance time. It cannot be modified from the customer side. But flexible server, so you can pick the frequent time for the it adjusts for your system schedule. So maintenance window could be the huge impact for the benefit to using the flexible server. And also the stop start feature is also the benefit for use flexible server because a single server doesn't have any feature for the stop and start, and but the the flexible server has a stop start feature, and that could be affect compute only when you stop the flexible server, but it can charge the storage based cost. So that will be the effect to the single server effect to the flexible server. So that is the benefit for the use the flexible server. And also, I need to explain about the connection pool feature. So the single server doesn't have any connection pool feature inside, but application should be the consider the how many concurrent connection needed to establish or something. So, but flexible server it has a connection. It has already built the PG bouncer, its connection pool technology inside the flexible server. So that means you can just change your port from the 5432 to the 6432. So just to change the connection port, and you can use the PG bouncer feature easily. And also, we need to explain about the maximum number of the concurrent connections. So single server has 1982 concurrent maximum connections, but a flexible server, it can cover the 5,000. So that means the both connection pool feature, and it's based on the 5,000 connection concurrent connection number will be supports some more larger workload for the Postgres server. And also, I just need to explain about the network and high availability oriented topic. So the single server, it only supports the public network or private links and network. It is the same feature like the Azure SQL database. But the flexible server, so it is based on the Linux container, so it can support the three different network features. So one is a public. So that is similar to the single server. And the other feature is a VNet injection. So you can deploy your flexible server containers inside your network. So that means VNet injection. But if you deploy before you deploy the flexible server, you should consider to the separate the subnet. So because the flexible server need its subnet dedicated subnet for the deployment, and just consider the IP address range for the flexible server. And also, we just started to the private preview for the private link for the flexible server. So that is the same feature to the single server, but we have the some feature limitation and feature assumption for the private link feature. And also, we need to explain the most important topic. So it is high availability because the single server was built on the the before the uh, zone availability is zone availability feature is not available on the Azure Data Center, so it doesn't have the any feature and any consideration to the deployment with zone level high availability. But that SLA number is 49. But flexible server, it has considered to the covering the resiliency for the high availability. So if you use the single so non high availability option, so it could be the 39 so high 39 SLA. That means the single virtual machines, the SLA. So that is the same consideration for the single virtual machine, the high availability with the non-high availability option. So that means that when your single non-HA workload has a failure, so it should be the down before down till the same virtual machine will be the relaunch. So that is the same consideration about the single virtual machine. And the other new option for the high availability is the same zone high availability. It could be the 39 and 0.39 and 5%. The SLA based same zone high availability. So that high availability option is available for the all data center. If your data center doesn't support any zone level redundancy, so in that case, the same zone high availability is also available. And the other highest option is the zone redundant high availability. So it can only support the several data center Japan is was some kind of the zone redundant high availability option can enable. So it could be the support the 49 level SLA. So that is a huge impact for the everyone should consider to the its high availability. And I'd like to much more deeper explain about the high availability architecture. So the you can consider about the single server high availability. So that is mean the 49 uptime SLA. So they have the several components. One is a gateway proxy. It is similar like the Azure SQL database. And the other option is backend services. So backend Postgres services is based on the service fabric. It's running on the Windows-based container. So once the something will happen on the cluster, so it can also the resilience. It will be protected by the service fabric cluster, and the storage level is all separated. So because it is deployed on the Azure storage, so that is same as a storage account level the protection. So that means Azure storage account always protects the three copy based data. So the when you use a single server, so several components, one, two, three, so three different components will be deployed, and the gateway and the proxy server is shared with the other customer. And when you deploy the these services, so the most worst case is deployed with the storage and the computing node and proxy. All components are well separated. So in that case, the small latency will be the gathered the larger, and that could be the slow, yeah, that could be affected to the performance failure. So that is the single server high availability architecture. But flexible server, it is simplified to the virtual machine based Linux container technology. So that means once the Linux VM, so it is also used to the managed disk based architecture, and it could be copied later. Yeah, when you use the high availability option, so the one primary server will be the replicate to the its data with a standby server. So it could be used synchronous replication, and also your data never lost. So and also you can use the Azure storage account based the backup technology, so it can protect like low ZRS and LRS backup storage feature, and also you can use GRS. So everyone can use the flexible server that is without any high availability option. So just simplified to this architecture design is only one single node, and their backup data will be protected by the storage account technology. So that is the huge difference between the high availability option. So that is I just covered the whole topic from the overview, and comparing from the single server and flexible server. I gonna hand over to Gary to explain the migration. So
Hi, Ulma. Can you? Thank you. Yes. Okay, a little bit zoom in more. And yes, I'm going to explain about the migration journey that from single server to flexible server. And you can see there is a migration journey step here that assess, plan, rehearsal, and execution, then cutover and post-migration phase. So you can see this migration journey is like typical migration journey that nothing different from like ordinary database migration phase. And the first assessment phase, um, we need to assess the application that connect to the single server database and what code they are using and how many source, what kind of a source and what is the application like character, like I mean, what is the application business condition and application condition, something like that. And you also needed to assess database itself, single server. So you need to the um, discover what data or how many data and those information you need to collect. So there is two link here. Actually, there is if I click this one, this is kind of like a sample questionnaire, like interview question list for discovery phase, assessment phase. So this is you can interview about what is the configuration of the source database and how many database exist on the single server. And there is a like related query you can run from the source database. And you can check you have needs to upgrade the major version uh, during the migration. Like if you are planning to do the version upgrade as well, you can put those activity into the plan as well. And how many tables existing in each database and what is the size of them. So like this is also the related query for this question. So you can utilize this questionnaire and you can utilize also this kind of a query together. So, okay. And migration assessment helper query is this query collection for getting information from the source database. So you can also utilize these queries. And server configuration and feature mapping, like what extension you are using from the single server and what, when I open this one, respectively, there is some extension list you can see, like address standard Azure and B3 Gin and B3 Gist, like this kind of extension. Some customer or some customer they can use, but when we goes to the flexible server, this version can be different. So before you migrate, um, you need to check what extension the customer are you currently using, and if there is some major version change, then you need to check the compatibility before the migration. So if there is some modification is required for the source in the application, then you can do a pre-remediation before the migration. So in this region, you need to check the extensions, what they are using currently. And also you should check business and service condition for the cutover. Um, like checking business and service condition, you can figure out how many downtime this service we can have respectively. Perhaps some customer just to use PostgreSQL single server for one service only, but some customer they are using PostgreSQL single server for multiple service, and in the and multiple service they have different business condition. So those region you need to collect um, the maximum downtime, um, how much we can have. Yeah, you need to figure out something like that. And based on this assessment result, you need to do a planning for the migration. So you need to build a like timeline and schedule for the migration, and you need to decide based on this condition. You need to figure out some service we can go with offline migration simply. This is the easy and quick when it compares to online migration method. So you can decide this service we can go offline, and this service we have to go with online. So there is also pros and cons description. You can take a look. Yeah. Actually, we recommend if business condition and service condition are allowed, then it is better to go with offline. That is the simple and quickest way. So based on the migration method, you can decide which migration tool and method you can choose based on um, your like if you are familiar with like um, database migration service, where you are really familiar with the dump and restore or export and import, this kind of like native feature, it's up to you. But actually we recommend, as I mentioned earlier, we recommend if the business and service condition are allowed, then better to go with the offline migration. And actually we recommend to use a single to flexible migration tool. And offline migration method, you can choose one of these three. And in some case, and especially for the production environment, and most of the cases, you need to minimize the downtime, and you need to build a plan for this cutover phase. So in this case, you can choose a single to flexible migration tool or database migration service. Or if you're very familiar with Kafka and Division, and you also configure this Division Kafka for real-time migration as well. Um, Actually, we prepared a demo for using single to flexible migration tool. So, Miho, can you show the demo, please?
Yeah, sure. Could you, yeah, switch to my environment? I have the single resource pool, and that is connected to the private link with a single servers. The this is a very small visualizer and a small demo for the single to flexible migration. And every flexible server has deployed to the single virtual network with a separated subnet. I can show the detail much more. Yep, this virtual network. You can see the subnet. The I just created to the separated subnet for the private endpoint, so a private link for the single servers, and also I have the it's jumping machine. I just created the Bastion subnet for the deploying the Bastion, and also the target. That means delegated to the flexible servers. The separate its IP range is I think it is a rough demo, and the assigned IP address are the so many because it is a simple demo environment, and it's just not the fit to your business condition, but you can separate it the virtual network as like this, and if you need single and flexible connect with deploy to the different virtual network. In that case, you can create the VNet peering to the communicate from single to flexible. So that will be a little the complicated configuration, but this demo is a very simple one, and just migrate and assessment from single to flexible. And also, I just need to explain the assessment or rehearsal feature. If you are using the single server for the production environment, so just use the restore feature to create the new instance. So that can be the experiment to the single to flexible migration, which tool with fit to your environment, or you can see the which extensions are using. Because your production server, most of the case, production environment is locked and never touched when the production application is communicated. In that case, you can create the new instance with the restore feature. So far as the single server, you should modify the single server parameters. So if you increase or tuning with the server parameters, so that should be the memorizer, and you should move to this kind of the server parameters to the destination flexible servers. And also, I just show the demo how to detect, how to assess your source environment. So I just created the AdventureWorks. It is a simple sample database, and if you connect from the PG admin tool, so you can see the extensions. So which extensions you are currently using. But if you need the some kind of the the feature with the query and the list. So in that case, you can use the extensions list. So that query we already shared with the GitHub repo. So just execute the select yeah, this kind of the query. Yeah, just yep. So I just lost the connectivity from the single server with my Azure Data Studio. So just to copy and paste to this query and execute the extensions like a list. So this is an important topic. So as Gaily explained, which extension and what version are using on the source single server. So it is the most important things. And also, some extensions has a limitation to use the single to flexible migration tool. So in that case, you should create a support request to ask that kind of the which yeah, your extension is have some notice for the ask contact to the support request or something. So you can check on the Microsoft Run documentation. And the other topic, you can see the you can confirm the is a database size or schemas and table list. So it could be the comparing the your query will be the your query, not your migration will be the success or not. So just execute like this query, and you can create the list of the table, and it support the schema. And also this query will show the its size. So the before migration, you need to assess the current assess to know know your environment. But after migration, you can use the same query as to check the migration is work effectivity or not. So yeah, this one is the and also we need to explain about the table broad. So that could be the happen to the migration failure. So if you have any large object or table block, so in that case, sometimes the migration will be failure. But the schema named the PG copy DB, it is internal use for the migration tool. So if you use a single to flexible migration tool, so PG copy DB will be created automatically, and that is not the broad table, and that not to harm your environment. And I just show the target flexible server. So Adventure works, so it's a simple sample database, and it doesn't have any difficult things, and they have the several extensions that already support to the flexible server, and that doesn't have the so many data like a terabyte level data, so it has only small data inside. So in that case, very easy to migrate. So just access from the no, this not. I'm sorry. So not this this migration tool, but I can show you the how migration failure, and you can see the any message from the migration tool. So once if your migration is failure, you can see that kind of the message on the Azure portal. So on this case, I didn't enable any extensions like these extensions that has already used on the source database. So in that case, migration will be the failure, and that shows this kind of the error log on the migration tool. So in that case, you can just back to the your server and your server and just add the extensions. And the small topic for the extensions feature. So that is different from the single server. So when you use the single server, just add the extensions from the query and from the PG admin or any other tool. But on the flexible server, so if you need to add the Azure extensions, just modify the server parameters and add the, uh, the extensions from this list. So yeah, in that case, I just add the uh, PG buffer cache. Yeah, buffer cache. Yep, this one. And yeah, switching monitor is a little it's annoying. So yeah, that is why I just recommend to the creating the list of the extensions. So that can enable to modify your flexible target server easily. So just abandon this target server and I'd like to use the other um, target server. Yep, it has also already succeeded. And just migrate from single server. And Gary has already explained that our recommendation is offline, but your database capacity is larger, or it depends on the business justification. If you need any online migration, just pick the online from this. And just pick the source single server and put the credential information and pick the target target database. So yeah, this one, and also put the credential information and select the database. Yeah, just review and create. So that can start the migration process, and you cannot suspend this migration. So just create and execute. So that is simple, the one-way process. And you cannot you cannot suspend and abort this process manually because yeah, on the you can cancel from this side, but you cannot resume or suspend and resume this feature. So just watch the migration status on the this on this dashboard and just wait when the migration will finish. Yeah, that is the simple demo from my side. I just hand over to Katie to the switch to the fast track support.
Thank you, Miho.
Yeah, before that, so okay.
Yes. So Miho just showed the single to flexible migration tool. Like this one is native Azure native tool. So there is a link for each migration method, offline and online. So if I open this link, you can see the overview and limitation and best practice. Yes. And these step by steps. Yes. You can see this kind of document for each link. Another one, offline dump and restore. This one also you can see the step by step guidance as well. Yes. Just take a look after the session. And also there can be a capacity planning and target specializing for during the planning phase. So typically if we have like 101 mapping for one single server to one flexible server, probably we don't have to have this phase. But if you are planning to have some major version update or major version upgrade or some new feature is involving for the target server in new flexible server, or if after your observation for assessment, um, there is two single server um, they are using they are not utilizing enough resource. Actually, there is, if for example, there is a four core, one single server, and another one is a four core on one single server, and their CPU average utilization is lower than like 30%, and peak CPU usage is also lower than like 60%. Then probably you can combine those two, and actually their peak period is different. One system they are busy during the day, and another server they are very busy during the night. Then in this case, some customer they can consider to merge two different single server to one flexible server. So in this case, you need to do capacity planning and target spec sizing as well. And also, you need to build a test scenario for the post migration. The post migration means in this case, the rehearsal phase. You need to do a real test before doing the real migration in dev environment or UAT environment. Especially if you involve the cutover phase, you have to do this you need to validate with this um, non-business critical environment first. So after the migration, you can just check the application code. Is there the functionality working fine? Even there is the extension version will change, and if the PostgreSQL major version change, you can do the test. You can build the test scenario for important and mission critical business task. So after the migrate, you can do validate the migration process itself as well. And after the migration, and you can um, do some kind of like physics, like the unit test. Is it working fine? Is it working differently, or is there any help? Is there any like error message or something like that? Or if you have some mission critical, very performance critical task, you can validate those performance in UAT environment as well. You just Miho mentioned before during the demo, you can restore this UAT, like you can restore from the production environment to um, UAT environment, and you can do some kind of like performance test because they if you restore from the production environment, they have the same data volume, and you can utilize some performance testing too, stress testing too as well. So after this validation, and um, you can modify your migration plan for the production as well. You can add on or you can modify some process if you required. Then you need to finalize, like after real production migration, you can build some test scenario after the migration, like row count comparison, and check if there is all the index are created correctly, and unique constraint and reference RI is already there. You can check those query. You can build those check query before the production migration. And okay, also you need to run the statistics after the migration as well. And you need to have a plan for the backup and recovery and high availability and business continuity for the DR. You can also have, if you already have, you can just follow the previous strategy, backup and recovery and high availability. But you need to check the comparison. Just the Miho just describe before the feature difference, architecture difference, especially for the HA. There is some difference from the single server if you go with a flexible server. So you need to check those conditions as well, RTO and RPO, and SLA, what SLA level you required. So you can have this plan as well. So when you finish this planning phase, you can go with the rehearsal. Like you can do the offline migration with the migration tool, or if you require some certain condition, if you need to utilize database migration service, or some customer they prefer to use Kafka with the division, then you can build those scenario in development or UAT and do the testing and monitor. And is there any problem, or if you miss anything that can cause any error, so you can do the remediation and add up this activity into the planning phase, plan document as well. And you can review the result and take necessary actions and apply like additional work breakdown structure or activity task to the migration plan if you required. And there is also some common error reference and troubleshooting guide here. So you can reference this data, this document, uh, if you encounter any error in rehearsal phase. So you can just reference this document as well. And so after the rehearsal, the rest of tasks are actually doing the migration execution. So you can start based on your timeline. You can start the migration based on your timeline as well. And after this, you can do the system cutover. So during the cutover, like you need to stop the previous incoming transaction and application. You need to do some application um, perspective task, and yeah, change the connection string and those things you can do this phase. And those things already defined in the migration plan document as well. And after the cutover, it's and you can check everything is same as expected, and you can run the check scenario or the object, index object and constraint are just as planned, and you can do. And after the migration, after the cutover, you should have some monitoring phase. So especially when the partner they are supporting the customer, usually they are planning to have like kind of like stabilization timeline for 2 3 days, like focusing monitoring and limitation during this phase. So this is the migration journey. Um, this is actually not very different from typical database migration. So Miho and I are we are in fast track Azure Asia team. So this is we are explaining how we support partner and customer. So during this phase, from the assessment or before the assessment phase, we need to get involved with this project. You can see in there are 6 different phase during the migration journey. But you can see most of the activity are actually positioning on first 3 phase before the execution. So before this phase or during this phase, this is the best timing that we can engage the customer and partner project and support them. We can support giving them the best practice. And all the customers and partners condition and requirement are actually not the same. You can encounter all the different condition and business requirement. So we have a many experience for this kind of activity for single to flexible migration as well. So um, we can give you the best practice and guide. And after this phase, actually you are doing the execution and doing real codeable for production environment as well. And in this case, sometimes you can encounter some error or some issue based on the because or the complicated environment and condition. So in the case, actually we are not doing like direct troubleshooting for the customer and partner, but we are kind of like second help. We are advising you and investigate together as much as we can. So after like our engagement process is going like this way in this a single to flexible migration scenario. I just do one thing needs to for the migration phase. So during the planning and rehearsal phase, like actually many customer when this is based on my personal experience. Actually they are during the assessment phase, we are collecting this database have 500 gig or just 2 terabyte of data, something like that. But not all the customer are doing data lifecycle management. I mean, actually in the PostgreSQL is OLTP workload usually, and maybe they have some little OL API workload as well. But most of the scenario and most of the business condition, they need to keep only 6 months of data in the source database. And they are already accumulating like 5 year data into analytical store, like data warehouse or data lake already. So they have duplicated data in this migration source database. And there are some garbage tables, orphan tables as well, that actually not using. So if you collect the table and size data, and you can have an interview with the business owner, business owner and people, and you can have an interview, and you can exclude, and you can interview with the system application owner as well, and you can exclude those orphan tables and orphan information, and if you exclude those things, the migration will be very simplified. you can simplify like a migration phase and complexity as well. So this is it. Um, this is it for what I prepared today. And hand over to Miho.
Thank you, Kairi. Yeah, we just almost finished the 30 minutes shorter, but we just try to yeah, explain about what is the differences between the single server and the flexible server, and also I just show you the whole demo to the single to flexible migration tool. At that time, I just clicked to add the extensions, and also I just try to cover to the other extensions. So yeah, PC start statements and yeah, PLPG SQL and yeah, table function is here, and UUID. So yeah, I cannot see the UUID on this. So in that case, I just prepare the PG14 for the target database. As Katie explained, we missed some extensions and supportability differences between the single and the flexible. So in that case, you can see the Microsoft Run documentation and just watch the supportability. Yeah, UUID is already supported on this one is PG15, and also we can see the PG14. Yeah, PG14. Yeah, that is already supported, but I couldn't find any. Yep, get to the resource. Go to the resource again. Yep, I could find. Then go to migration again. So as we explained, it is depends on your source single server configuration. So if you don't have any compatibility issue between the versionality from the PG11 to the PG14 or 15, in that case, you can go directly migration from the single server to flexible server and version up the same timing. But if you have any consideration that needs version up policy, so just migrate to the same version. And also, we just support the PG upgrade function on the flexible server. So in that case, you can migrate from the PG11 to PG11, and after that, in place upgrade from PG11 to PG14 or PG15. So I just explain again and try this demo to successfully. So I just add the extensions and the credentials and select the database. And reviewing and create. Yeah, that's all things I can do it. And in the migration process, so you can put the refresh to see because from the Azure portal, we don't have any auto refresh feature. So just create a refresh button on that. And also the process Gary has explained. So we think, yeah, from our experience, we should think about the preparation is 1900% for the successful migration, because execution and post migration is the if you prepare the enough, so you don't have any blocker for the production migration and the after migration process. I'm sorry. So just wait for the refresher and wait for migration. It has the thrilling time to just waiting the refresh for the migration. Um, yep. The migration has just started, and I'm just feel thrilled about the process. It is currently creating roles and users. So I just add the additional information to the single to flexible server migration tool. So we are still working on the enhancement for the single to flexible migration tool. So the that means it is rolled out to the all over the world, and it is still have the feature roadmap to support the other feature like creating roles. So 1 month ago, it doesn't support, and you should migrate manually. But current to already support, and it has already deployed the several region. And just wait for the 1 month or 2 months later. So it could be the, deployed all over the world. So the deployment is still enhancement, and it is always modified to support the other migration brokers. So it is same as Azure services. Because Azure services are always continuous enhancement and continuous deployment, and so it is still the developing and deployed, and still the modifying to the better services. so day by day or month by month. So it could be the same things is happen to the single to flexible migration tool. Okay, so I just feel the first the other error. So it has so the error is happen on the index. So some kind of the index name is longer than expected. And also, once we face that kind of the failure, and we don't want to modify the source database and the target database. So because this database is still empty, so in that case, you need to consider the modification for the source database, but it is still on the production phase. So it could be considered to something happen on the migration too. So in that case, just to create the support ticket to ask the PG copy DB have some issue for the something. So that is a migration. Yeah, unfortunately, my migration has failure, but I think your migration will be the successfully because we uh, always working with the customer and knowing about the known issue, and we can detect some kind of the blocker like this and just modify the tools every day. Not every day, so actually every time, and we enhance the tool with the product team together. So we just gathering your feedback and your migration oriented topic. So because the all migration is and its business justification is always different. Yeah. So that is all topic from my side. So yeah, so how can we see that kind of the migration failure? Yep. And our migration tool has already covered the estimation for with assumption how many time that needs to migrate from the single to flexible like 10 gigabyte. So it is only the 8 minutes. So the assumption is the target database size. It's standard and it has covered with standard D4, DS, and V4. So it covers 16 gigabyte memory and it supports 500 IOPS. And the other topic I just missed to cover to the migration process is consider to the IOPS to the single server because single server its disk IOPS has depends on its deployment capacity. So when you execute the test migration and just find the IOPS of the disk deployment is a bottleneck on the source database migration things. So in that case, you can increase you can consider to increase deployment capacity to increase the disk IOPS to the single server because single server its IOPS is sticky related to the its capacity deployment, and once you can expand the IOPS for the single server, you cannot reduce its IOPS. So in that case, today I just explain about the Restore feature is effective to the test migration. So once you check the how many how many IOPS the source server is needed during the migration. So you can estimate the number of the migration. So in that case, you can yeah test the migration. So you can consider the how many capacity needed to the need to increase during migration, and after that you can delete your instance. So the restore to create the new instance is good to good to good to good knowledge and good tips for the test migration. But it could be needs double cost for the it could be to happen to the temporary double cost for your instance. Okay, like this way, you can create a test instance for the execute rehearsal migration for that. So it depends on it takes a shorter time to just request to the create a new database with the list option. So that can exist the same environment from the single server, production single server, and migration test single server. So it is easy to create your test environment. Just waiting for the deployment. So we covered from single server and flexible server differences and its migration. And also we have the other product option for the Cosmos database for the Postgres. So that is a little different service from the single server and the flexible server. So it is based on the Azure database for the Postgres. So Postgres or hyperscale tier. So it became to the Azure Cosmos DB for Postgres. So that is a distributed database. And that doesn't match to the single server oriented, single instance, and single node based database. So Cosmos database for the Postgres is built on the that is based on the coordinator node, and that has distributed the workload node. So it has based on the CTAS extension. So that is a little different from the product from the single server and the flexible server, and that means a single node and a single database topic. So yeah, a little different product is existing. So you should consider the single to flexible is simple, just to migrate to the single node instance. But the migrate to the Cosmos database for Postgres is the different one because it has a based on the several node architecture. So yeah, in this environment, I just created the one single node, but it could be the scale to the large number node and a large number computing. Yeah, so that could be the expand to cover the higher workload and distributed with distributed technology. So today we explained about the single to flexible migration topic, and our suggestion is these products has planned to its retirement date, and before sunset, you should consider to migrate from single to flexible. So that is all our suggestion from our side. So yeah, you can also learn from the Microsoft Learn topic from this. And you can show review the demo and the content covered during the session. You can see the official collection on the Azure database for Postgres related topic. And also, we just explain again about our team. So first track for Azure is part of the Azure engineering team, and we are uh, working with the customer and partner about this kind of the product retirement-based migration. And also, we usually work with the customer to the who need to the use on the fast track. So we support the customer and partner to use Azure, and they doesn't miss the way, or they doesn't take the long way from the long way than the we should guide the fast track path to use the Azure architecture from the Azure engineering side. So yeah, our team is the fast track for Azure, and that could be the help the both topic from the product retirement based migration things, and also if you are the the if you are the first user for using the Azure environment, in that case, we can guide and architecture reviewing, and we can help the customer to uh, use the Azure environment quickly. So that is yeah all topic from our side. So thank you for joining this session, and have a
Thank you
nice
for your time.